Hello and welcome to Lunch with the Editor. Today we discuss the current issue of Outlook, which is out on the stands. We have dealt with several contemporary issues, primarily the new interlocutor for Jammu and Kashmir appointed by the Prime Minister is a very unlikely choice of a former intelligence chief, former director of Intelligence Bureau, Mr. Dineshwar Sharma, was appointed as the interlocutor for Kashmir with a cabinet secretary rank position, and he is expected to now meet with all kinds of stakeholders. So this is our primary cover story. We also have looked at the first anniversary of demonetization. We have also covered the Gujarat assembly poll situation. We are going towards assembly polls in Himachal Pradesh and afterwards Gujarat. So these are the larger issues that we have tried to capture in our current issue. So primarily, Pranay, you have written the cover story. So the government of India wants to talk, but wants to be tough as well.
True. That is the sense that they want to convey also very clearly, that yes, we have always been in favor of talking to people, various stakeholders there, but it cannot be done when there's so much of violence which is going on. There are attempts to scuttle this entire move. So we are now going into this fresh effort that the government has been making, is when it feels that the situation is under its control. They are talking from a position of strength, and therefore they are asking, yes, we have done this, you are not dictating it, meaning you are not forcing us that you will have to come because there's so much of violence. Rather, it is we who have created the space for all the people who wanted to come and talk, but perhaps for a number of reasons, particularly because of the fear of gun, they didn't come out. Now that we have created that situation, the groundwork has been done. Let more and more people come and join and give their views. We are willing to listen to all kinds of views.
So every which way you look at it, this is a new beginning.
In a way, definitely, because since the time the Narendra Modi government came to power in May 2014, this has been, he tried to, in a way, actually, if we say that the engagement with Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, when it began, Kashmir was also, it had figured some way or the other. And then he went there, he tried to make an announcement on a lot of infrastructure development for the state. These things were going on. But side by side, we also saw a lot of violence, where people, a lot of youngsters who came out. In fact, we had the stone pelters, out in the street, trying to make it very clear that they were not very happy, they did not have the trust and confidence in Delhi. And which also put the PDP government, the alliance partner, the BJP, in kind of a tight position, because they have always been talking about talks, and under that, if this did not come through, their position was becoming a little untenable, therefore. So I think, now that it is happening, this not only tells, it helps Mehbooba Mufti. This is what I was talking about all along, to reach out to large number of people and try and see how we can find a peaceful solution to.
Very interestingly, Narendra Modi had invited Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif for his own swearing in.
That's right.
After that, he made an unscheduled visit to Nawaz Sharif's home on his birthday, which was an extremely warm gesture.
Absolutely.
All these gestures were reciprocated with violence, instances of violence, attacks, Pathankot, Uri, and all these attacks from across the line of control or the border. So now it seems that the government of India has taken a stand that it will not consider Pakistan as one of the stakeholders.
See, this is, I think, what the attempt is that whatever you say, that the stress Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. So you will have to put your house in order. It's an attempt on that. Whether Pakistan, yes, because of the cross-border terrorism which has been going on and attempts to scuttle it, also becomes a player there. But first and foremost, it is the government's...
It is very significant because the government is sort of keeping Jammu and Kashmir, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, as an integral part of the Indian Union.
True.
And everything that happens has to happen within the constitution.
Absolutely.
And so talking to our own people, our own citizens, addressing their grievances as one issue and talking to Pakistan as a bilateral issue, on a different platform altogether.
True.
So first, deal with our own people, deal with our own citizens, address their problems, address their aspirations, bring the temperature down, and get a person who was completely hands-on in Kashmir as number 2 in the Intelligence Bureau's office in Kashmir in '92, and later as the Director of Intelligence Bureau. It is for the first time a former intelligence chief has been given this sort of an appointment, this sort of a stature.
True. I mean, the intelligence guys have always played a role, but they have not been brought to the forefront. Like, he is our person to deal with. We have all the trust and confidence. At the same time, choosing a person who's not only has wide experience about Kashmir, but also has the trust, you know. And this is what he will try and do once again, because what we've all know and we have been talking about, for a variety of reasons, especially the youngsters, have lost that trust and confidence. This is something which in the system they will have to be brought back, and you have to have a face, the human face, which reaches out to them.
And the Intelligence Bureau always gives inputs to their political masters, whoever they are. The parties come and go. Today it is BJP, tomorrow it could be Congress again, day after it could be another coalition government, it could be anyone. But they keep on, they are the permanent bureaucracy, and they keep on giving vital political inputs. To pick one of them, a very effective officer, and to give him this political role, this also sort of gives out the impression that the government this time is very serious about this initiative, and the interlocutor ought to be representing the Indian state.
Yes, definitely. See, I mean, in one way, he is a government or former government official, a senior bureaucrat, and he has the trust of the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, and other senior members. You know, even outside, when I got a few quotes also from others who were part of the intelligence structure earlier, and also tried their hand at Kashmir at various times. All of them come to this conclusion: yes, Sharma is the best choice in this case for the government to go ahead.
A very amiable, very soft-spoken, very peaceable intelligence officer. It's almost an oxymoron, but that is what Sharma is. Whoever has met him would vouch for it. It is definitely an interesting gambit. There is no doubt about that. So, having said that, we move on to the next topic. We have taken stock of 1 year of demonetization, and interestingly, our colleague Zia Haq has stuck his neck out to say that Modi is going to go for a big move to infuse money into the system, to spend more, to boost growth. So that is one prediction that we have done. Zia terms it Modinomics 2. He says that it can see higher spending directed at social sectors and small enterprises. More business will now qualify to pay taxes as well. So the tax net has no doubt widened, but this is some sort of a prediction that our colleague has made. There have been extremely critical voices. Most of the voices have been critical about the anniversary of demonetization. Very few people have said anything good about it.
True.
So we have a column by famous economist Professor Prabhat Patnaik and also Ila Patnaik. So
they've been talking about the problems that people have faced in the last 1 year and what is likely in their view, is going to happen. But Zia moves away from that and does this prediction of a very, very positive kind of a thing. Let's see, how it works out.
Then the Gujarat elections are also very much an important topic of discussion all over. So it is a hotly contested election. After a very, very long time, I think there's a lot of interest, because otherwise it used to be a one-sided affair.
Absolutely. For several times in the past, this is what we've seen, that nobody really doubted or raised any question on who's going to win. But this time, perhaps, so far, no one is saying that the BJP has lost it or they are going to be thrown out. But at the same time, Congress is giving a contest and the other players are coming together. It is becoming a contest.
Okay, and now the biggest surprise this issue, I would say, is a poem by Kavita Lankesh. Kavita Lankesh is a very well-known, award-winning filmmaker, film writer, and a lyricist, poet. She has written a poem about her elder sister, Gauri Lankesh, who was brutally murdered on September 5th. So we have carried that as this week's back page diary, and we have called it Gauri Diary.
Both the photograph and the poem. And given the context in which it is being used, I think it's a very touching piece.
So all put together, I think we have got a good issue. Please do pick it up, and please keep sending your very, very valuable inputs and feedback to us. I'll read out a comment which one of our viewers has put out. I think it is Chela Kardan. Instead of talks, government should reclaim the trust of Kashmir people. They must realize Kashmir is an integral part of India. Definitely. We should go beyond merely saying that Kashmir is an integral part of India. The people there, people of Kashmir should feel that it is an integral part of India. People should feel that they are as good or as bad as any other citizen of this country. So that is very much required, and probably Dineshwar Sharma's appointment can help, because he is a very extremely pragmatic and realistic IPS officer who has put all his years in trying to understand the problems. We should understand that IB is not a law and order agency at all. IB has nothing to do with crime or law or order. IB was intelligence bureau was set up by the British only and only to gather social, religious and political intelligence. It has nothing to do with crime detection. It has nothing whatsoever to do with any law and order mechanism. So an intelligence officer, particularly in that mold, is an ideal guy to understand and to address political, religious and social issues.
True. And in this case, the government and so far has made it very clear that Dineshwar Sharma does enjoy its confidence also, which is very important, because who are you talking to? And I talk to you, but at the same time I don't know whether the political masters really rely on me or not. So this part has been made very clear, the first step, that yes, he's our man, talk to him, we want you to give your views on that, whatever grievances you have, he's going to listen with a very patient, ear, and not only with one or two groups, but anyone who's willing to come and talk. Let's see, widen the net as much as it can.
Yeah.
And then what we gather from there, what would be the best way of trying to resolve this issue as early as possible.
Yeah. So please do pick up our current issue. That's all for now. Thank you.